Hello, and welcome to Philip Brown's Computer Networking Lab. You're watching the instructional video called Multicast Dense Mode. Before you watch this video, you should watch my video on multicasting concepts to get a basic understanding of the multicasting process, or at least have a basic understanding already. This is the sample network that we will use. Let's eliminate some of the components to simplify how we're going to configure multicast dense mode on this network. We are looking at a simple diagram of a client computer and a server connected together by three routers labeled A, B, and C. I am using OSPF to give the routers knowledge of the local networks, but I could have chosen any routing protocol. We are going to configure the multicast network on these components. These are the steps that we're going to use to configure multicast in dense mode. 1. We are going to verify that the unicast network works correctly. 2. We are going to configure the routers for multicasting. 3. We're going to have a client request multicast traffic. And 4. We're going to have the multicast server send out multicast traffic. The very first step in creating the network is to verify that the unicast connectivity is working correctly. We're going to ping the client computer using the multicast server. The pings are successful. We now know that the server and client computer can talk with one another. Let's look at the commands needed to pass multicast traffic through the routers. In the global configuration mode, you type the IP multicast routing command that enables multicast routing on the router. And in the interface configuration mode, you will type the IP PIM dense mode command that allows PIM dense mode on the interface. Again, let's look at the diagram of our sample network. The first step was to verify that the unicast network was working correctly, and we have already done that. In the second step, we are going to configure all the router interfaces that will be participating in multicast traffic. First, we will go to router A. Let's configure multicasting on this router and configure both interfaces to use the dense mode. Let's do the same with router B. We configure multicasting on the router. Dense mode is configured on both interfaces. Next, we will go to router C and do the exact same thing. The router is configured for multicasting, and we will configure both interfaces to use the dense mode. Now, let's configure the client computer to receive multicast traffic from 234.234.234.234. We could have picked any address in the multicast range, but that is my favorite for testing. We will use the IP PIM join command. Normally, computer programs like Adobe Flash and Apple QuickTime would be sending out the multicast join message packet. But configuring multicast on a client computer using this command gives us a better idea of what is going on. Let's go to the multicast server and send out a multicast packet to all of the routers that are participating in multicasting. We will ping the multicast address, and all the client computers who are listening for that address will reply. We can see that the client computer with the interface address of 10.0.3.2 has replied. The multicast is working between the server and the client computer. We have just seen how to set up multicasting in a dense mode on a simple network. In the next video, we will set up the network with sparse mode. I hope this video has been informative, and I thank you for viewing.